So this is from an Adam Jardy article in the Columbus Dispatch. He caught up with athletic director for the Buckeyes, Ross Bjork. And Ross was asked about, the indifference around the men's basketball program, right? Because, look, at Ohio State, we know this. Football kind of rules everything. Basketball program gets going in January. That's when a lot of fans, right or wrong, it's when a lot of Buckeye fans are like, okay, football season is not winding down now that you've got the playoffs in January, but that's when attention starts to move over to how's the basketball team doing? How are the men's and women's teams doing?
Mm-hmm.
That men's team, obviously, if it's not good in the last few years, it hasn't been, going back to Chris Holtman, it tends to lead to people going, whatever, it's not worth watching. And that's not good. You do not want to become that program where people just don't care. The attendance at the Schott has been bad. It has been a very bad atmosphere at the Schott for a while. And so Ross Bjork said they're going to try to make it better. And he said, what we have to do is separate from the game itself. We have to have the atmosphere in the Schott just be better again. Got to just make Ohio State basketball exciting and fun. Winning helps, and that's a great marketing plan. But at the same time, there are some elements I think we can do to make the atmosphere better. He cited part of this is like getting a new floor that just adds to like maybe the big game feel. They're also going to get a new scoreboard in there, which they think that will help a little bit. I have many thoughts on how to improve the atmosphere at Ohio State for basketball.
Yeah, and everybody's number one thing is move everybody down closer to the game.
Yeah.
It's too spread out.
Timmy Hall and I have been on this thing where for a while you could, and he brings up Texas. Texas does this. Ohio State, though, does it for women's basketball in a different way. Texas has like these curtains that go up around their the upper level, but they're like stretchy. They're almost like screens. And they put stuff up on those stretchy screens that are like highlights and like it's almost like an extra scoreboard up there. You can put sponsor logos in that too. But they have that up there projected, and it looks very professional, very nice, but it kind of makes you forget that, oh, yeah, those are all empty seats up there because you don't see them.
Yeah.
Now, for women's basketball, when you go to the Schott, they have curtains as well that are installed, and they just pull them around. They're just black curtains, but they don't let anybody sit up there. They put everybody down the lower bowl, and I've been to women's basketball games where they have 10,000 people there, and it's like a great atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Men's basketball games should be doing the same thing. I don't know why they keep the upper bowl open. They don't need to. You should never sell a season ticket in the upper bowl until, you know what? If you sell out the lower bowl for 3 straight years and people are like, you got a 1,000-person wait list to buy tickets, then fine, open up the upper bowl. Then that means something has been fixed. But until that moment, stop selling season tickets in the upper bowl. Make the prices more affordable for season ticket holders in the lower bowl. Give them a big discount to get them there, and let's go. Let's have a better atmosphere, because that's job one, I think, if you're trying to fix Ohio State basketball, other than the on-the-court stuff. That's the number one thing you could do.
Wasn't the atmosphere great for the team up north game this past year?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's been good atmospheres there for Michigan State over the years, and when they would have Duke or Kansas come in.
The fact of the matter is, you have to. The product has to be better. Let's just.
Of course,
that's going to change a lot. If you got to find a way to recruit some star talent in there that people want to see. Like, I don't know, you get like a Greg Oden, Jared Sullinger. It's like, I have to see this. Like, this guy is unbelievable. I have to. You get one of those talents, it'll bring more people to the game. I do think that you're right. They definitely need to move people down. And I think this town wants to cheer on the basketball team. They really do. I think they're eager to be one of those, have that atmosphere that Ross Bjork's talking about. But at the end of the day, until you get that product right, like, you got to give us something to cheer for.
Yes.
Hasn't been a lot to cheer for, and hopefully Jake Diebler fixes that this year with some of the guys that he got out of that portal. But
and I think how much talk goes on about the football team with, we got to have laser light shows, and we got to have night games, and we got to have drones in the air spelling out messages. And what is one of the biggest reasons they cite for that? It is recruits need to come here and see a big time atmosphere, because that's how you're going to get the best recruits to come to Ohio State to play football.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to basketball, everyone's trying to figure out a way to get Ohio State basketball to replicate what goes on at Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Allen Fieldhouse. And my argument is you're never going to get that. Even if you moved back into St. John Arena, which they are not going to do, You will never get the college basketball atmosphere that will compete.
The St. John's Arena so much better than the Schott?
Well, it's because I can tell you, as someone who went and saw games there, like, you're on top of the players more. It's an old school vibe. It's loud as hell in there. And I think it only held about 13 or 14,000. I could be wrong. Or holds still. I mean, you could still put people in there. They do.
And the Schott holds 20.
Yeah. But it's also just the way the acoustics were in there, the way it's designed. It does have a very old school vibe.
It does.
It would be a cool atmosphere for basketball. But what I'm saying is it will never compare for a recruit coming in. Even if they had St. John Arena back and they did it all the right way, it wouldn't compare to going to Cameron Indoor. It wouldn't compare to going to the Dean Dome and see, because those are like primarily basketball schools. Sorry, North Carolina football. That's your bread and butter.
Oh, well, Bill Belichick's there. Hold on.
No.
Jordan Hudson's there.
She's going to yell at me, I'm sure. But I contend the way Ohio State should go with basketball, they actually need to do what they talk about doing with football. They need to do that with basketball. And that is to say, we're not going to compete with Allen Fieldhouse. We can't. The Schott is nothing like that. We are more like an NBA arena. So here's an NBA game experience, and do the best scoreboard in college basketball. Do things like the music, everything you walk in, it feels big game. Have the stuff in the concourse. I know they've redone some of that. Make the food options way better than they are. They're good. They're fine for college basketball. Make them something like you would expect at an NBA game. And get to a point where when people come in, they go, I don't know about a college basketball atmosphere. This feels like going to a Cavs game or a Knicks game.
Well,
or
I feel like that's
like a big game atmosphere.
I feel like when they built it, that's kind of what they wanted it to try to be like.
I don't know what they wanted when they built it, but this is what you have to deal with now. You'll never compete with the 12,000 seat arenas in college basketball. So don't try to. Try to be like, and then still tarp off the top, let people come in and sit lower, get the atmosphere to be loud. But when they walk out of there, it should be like going to an NBA game. Make it that experience. And then when recruits come, they see, well, I don't know about it being as good as what Duke does when it comes to having that tiny little arena and all the history, but this feels like I'm playing in the NBA. And that is something that I think a lot of, maybe not the number one recruit in the country is going to choose you, but guys in the top 10, 15, 25 would absolutely say, all right, I could go get less playing time at another school in the historic building, or I could feel like I'm playing in the NBA at this place where they have, you know, a good experience. It's awesome when I run out there. The fans are right on top of you. It's a good atmosphere, and it's not going to compete with some of that other stuff. I think that's the way they need to go. I don't know if they'll be smart enough to do it, but my services are available for a minimal fee. If you want this help, I'm already putting it out there for free, but I will gladly come in and consult because I have thoughts on how to fix this.
Clearly you do. We need hire T-Bone.
Buckeye basketball should be a top 15, top 20 program.
I agree.
Every single year. There's no reason why they can't with the Nike money, and yet we treat it like, oh, when we get around to it. I'm not saying Ross Bjork does. I'm saying a lot of the boosters and fan base just don't give it the attention it needs to, and we got to bring it back. Let's go.
Back when I was banging, it was a certain standard of basketball, and the fact that we are so far removed from that it's alarming. It's shocking. You know, when I got here as a freshman, I always say, like, my freshman year, we went to the Final Four and lost to Kansas, which they should have won that game. But
and what was it like going to those games?
It was unbelievable.
Did it have an aura? As the kids like to say? Yeah. It didn't matter that it was 20,000 seats.
Yeah, it was a great time.
I think they need to lean into the NBA experience. And what's one of the things that every NBA game has? Celebrities. You need to lean into celebrities at your games. And the celebrities around here can be Ryan Day, the football program, stuff like that.
T-Bone.
But also famous alumni who play in the NFL or played at Ohio State and are now in the.
They usually
get those guys back, have them be there, and focus on it, and make sure everyone knows they're there. Announce it ahead of time.
They be doing well. I don't know about ahead of time, but they if you in the building, they put you on camera.
Oh, I know.
I went back for a game and they put me on for the basketball game.
I'm saying they need to reach out in a big way and make it a thing that, like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is I know you're not going to get that for like a December game when the students aren't on campus and it's like you're playing Grambling State. I know that's not probably going to be the same atmosphere in the Schott, but for Big Ten games, it should absolutely be better than it is.
I feel like maybe that's an Ohio State thing where they should do better of bringing alumni around. You know, some guys don't never really come back. Like, when was Malik? Has Malik come back? Malik Hooker?
I don't know.
Like the Robies of the world. Like, I feel like football wise, and then basketball. I know they do the alumni weekend, which just passed. But do they always come back to games? Like, I'm not 100% sure. Like, so I think that's another thing. Like,
I think that's an easy win for them.
They got for all programs.
To lean into
they
that.
should bring more alumni back around.
They do it at every Lakers game. You know who's sitting courtside. Every Knicks game, you know who's sitting courtside. Ohio State, it's not going to be the same thing. But like, if you put it out there, like, by the way, this former Buckeye is here. He's going to be there tonight in the building. That just makes it feel like, oh, this is a big deal. Maybe I should be there too. Just putting that in people's heads.
They should make Cardell get off his couch and do it all the time. There you go. He ain't got nothing going on. Make him be your famous celebrity.
The buzzer is next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.